If people are looking for hamburgers, don't serve them burritos, right? Even if you make a mad burrito, like they want hamburgers. How do you identify what the people are looking for, right? Like,
Great question.
how do you know they want hamburgers? How do you know it's not burritos? Like, what sort of market testing are you doing to try to figure out, okay, what should I make my content about then? What's important to people right now?
Well, it's what the thing that we sometimes forget to do, which is to listen. We got to be aware, like we have to shut up and just listen. If we read the news, we can see what's being put out there and what's out there to get clicks and stoke fear, right? And engagement. So we can see the negative headlines. So we know what people are being confused by or what they're being scared by. And if we listen to our clients, we get a pulse of what's stopping them from wanting to do something or what's holding them back. You put these two together, and there is your order for the hamburgers that you can serve them, right? We think that we have to be this secret sauce or come up with stuff, but just listening and taking the time to study and watch what's going on out there in the market, like taking time intentionally to scroll content, not to lose your mind and go down a rabbit hole, but to actually see what are people talking about. You might notice some trends that a lot of people are talking about. Credits for buy downs in a high rate market. Okay, that clearly is something. Why? Because rates are higher. People are afraid. They think the market's about to fall off and they think the opportunity's lost. No, it's not actually. Higher rates are giving you a better negotiation opportunity, which will potentially give you a credit, which you can use to buy down your rate. And then you're actually fine. You're the winner because you're going to get the house at a better deal and you'll get a rate that nobody else can get. So thinking and listening and being hyper aware of what's going on around you. We don't do that really well in our industry because we're always trying to dish it up to solve the problem quickly, right? It's almost like good marriage advice. Like a therapist told me a long time ago, like seek to understand, not to be understood. Don't explain yourself. Like just resist the temptation and just bite your tongue for a second and just like, no, let me listen. Let me find out what people are afraid of or what's going on with them in the marketplace. And if you do that and just put your ear to the ground, you'll have all the answers you need and you'll know exactly what to serve people.
That's a good point. I bet you most loan officers on here have had enough conversations with clients that had challenges that they helped them overcome with their knowledge and understanding of the industry, that if you created that into content, there's other people out there who have that same problem, right? That's kind of what you're saying there. I mean, this is
100%. 100%. Just be in the problem solving business. That's all we're trying to do, guys. Nobody needs to reinvent the wheel or come up with this like $1 million quotient or theory or formula. Solve people's problems. You are in the problem solving business, not the mortgage or real estate business. If you wake up every day solving people's problems and use content as a way of doing that, you will have business.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think this is a good reminder for the people that are not on social media, but know they need to be. They're really good with clients. They said, if I just had more clients, I could help more people because I'm a great problem solver. Well, just think back to the problems you've helped people, fix in the past, because that client is out there. They just haven't called you yet. Just create the same content that you've used to help actual clients, because I guarantee you, if your client had that problem, many other people have that same problem.
100%.
And then I like the idea of taking, I was talking to you before about, this Bitcoin thing. Like, to me, it's pretty obvious that, Bitcoin in the last just couple months, I mean, it's all over the place now, but it went from whatever it was at 60, 70 to 108 for a minute and then down to 95 or whatever. Point is a lot of people made a bunch of money since the election on Bitcoin. And you can tell based on what the price has been doing, people are taking that money out all the time. It gets up to 100 again and they take some out. They're nervous about it or whatever. And most of those people are really young, right? It's mostly the younger demographic that invests in and messes with Bitcoin. I think that's changing now as we go on. That's a whole nother conversation. But you created a video the other day that talked about the crypto effect and how there's going to be people that cashed in their crypto, or maybe they haven't cashed it in yet, but you could plant the seed that, hey, you could cash that in and buy a house and buy an asset that's going to go up in value and so on and so forth. So it's also those kind of trends. I think that's how you can get your content shared, because these are the things that are currently being talked about, right? I saw some great videos in the last couple of days about the removal of all the medical debt on people's credit reports.
Medical collections, yeah.
Like that's a huge one. It's a good deal and it needs to be talked about. And I promise you there's people that have that problem today, or it's kept them from thinking that they can buy a house. And now none of that is on there. You know, that's all going to be wiped away. And if that was the thing that kept you from thinking about buying a home, maybe now you're a client, right?